Hello and welcome back to Nothing Lacks Potential podcast. On this week's episode, we had Emma Stephenson, who is an online fitness coach. Emma spoke to us about her own fitness journey and the community she's built through Embody and our upcoming events. I hope you enjoy. Thanks so much for coming on, Emma.
Thanks so much for having me.
So I just thought for anybody listening, it'd be good to have you on the podcast just with the event you're holding on the 8th, isn't it?
The 8th of October.
Yeah. Just to talk about it more and what you're hoping to achieve with it, like, and what way it'll run. So would you like to tell us about it?
So basically, thanks for coming on as well. Thanks for coming to the event. I find you're inspiring myself.
Thanks very much.
And I think kind of like the aim of the event is it's an event focused on female transformation and like what is possible for people who, you know, are starting from maybe a different starting position to like other people. And it's kind of like a realm of people sharing their stories on like their fitness transformations or their mental transformations or even just like full blown 360 transformations, because I feel like even for my fitness journey and lots of the girls, my clients, Chloe, Circa, even you, like it's like if it's possible for us, it's possible for anyone else. And it's just like I wanted to have an event with a room full of like people sharing stories of their own journeys, so then we can basically broadcast it and
just show them where they started and how they got there and that anything is possible. Yeah,
show them what's possible. Like, and I feel like the more stories we share, the more people we inspire that like change is possible for them too. I just think that's, if you go through your own transformation, it should be to learn from it and to help other people grow through their own. And
yeah, I feel like a lot of the times, like it's like who you sit around yourself with, or who you like. If you see someone else doing something that you want to do, and then they show you that it's actually easy, it's possible, you can achieve it, and then like someone might turn around and be like, "Oh, I can do that as well."
100%.
And like someone telling them how they done it kind of gives you that bit more motivation. And because I feel like half of the time it's the unknown, and then you don't bother going for it. It's like, oh, how am I going to do this, or how am I going to do that? And then you're just kind of like, oh no, that's too hard. They don't bother even kind of trying to find out how. Yeah,
100%. It's just education and like having people who've been through their own similar journey or their own journey themselves. Like that person has so much education behind them. Like kind of obviously, you know, like I have my PT qualification, like degree and all that, but my journey has taught me so much more about myself and about like life than anything has. And even like growing Embody, the people I'm introduced to and their stories, God, I'm learning so much so fast. And I'm like,
networking and stuff that you're meeting at, like the events that you've went to and stuff. Yeah,
but like even like just through my own clients and stuff, I'm like, all these women have these crazy substantial stories, and I'm like, people need to know this. Like people need to be
no
aware.
One just like woke up and was successful, like
100%, like you know. And the more people like just are open and honest, and it's just about helping each other, like everyone coming together and everyone doing it together, like, you know. It's not look at me, like my whole thing is like I went through my fitness journey and I was like, I don't want to just go through my fitness journey, like I want to show other people, other women, that they can walk this path too, like that I'm no different to them.
Yeah,
and then,
exactly.
Like, the more of us that come together and do that, then it's just mad seeing how it's all just like unfolding and everyone's like, oh my God, I can do it too, and it's just like a snowball effect. Like,
yeah. And what made you get into the fitness industry? Like how did you start? Like where did it all start?
It started from my own fitness journey. I lost like just over 30 kg.
That's mad. That's crazy.
Thanks. Like I
did
always.
Did that take you long?
Just about 2 years.
2 years, yeah. So it's not a quick kind of
100%. No. Yeah. And that's what Embody is like. I feel like that that's our message, is like to embody the routine, embody the person. Don't really think it's about the fitness journey itself. I think it's about the person you become on the journey, like the person who just goes for their walks every day, are the person who like goes to the gym to train, not to get skinny, like to like I took that time to just become that certain person, and the journey kind of followed, like the 30 kg weight loss followed with the person I was becoming.
Yeah.
And like that's kind of what the whole messaging is, focus on the journey, like
and so like when you started, like how did you start? Did you just kind of start going to the gym yourself, or did you just go straight to doing online coaching with someone, or how did you start?
Do you mean how did I start Embody, or how did I
No,
start
so
my journey?
with your journey. So when
So,
you started
like-
your fitness journey.
So like I went through this mental year where I was just like really depressed, was really anxious, my mental health was so poor, like it was the worst place. It was like rock bottom basically.
Yeah.
And I remember like saying to myself, I was like, right, like I was like, things actually can't get any worse than this. I accepted that position. And I was like, right, well, I was like, I always seen myself at this higher position. And I was like, I can see myself at this position. I was like, why can I see this and why can't I? How am I going to get here? Like, and I was like, I'm never going to be able to become that person if I was very unconfident and I was very shy and very introverted. And I was like, how am I even going to go into the gym? How am I going to just go into this big gym and learn? And then that's where like my favorite quote is, confidence cannot grow unless we're willing to start without it. Because I remember that day and I set out this like long-term vision for myself. I literally pinpointed exactly who I wanted to become, like what I wanted to look like.
And what way did you do that? Was it with like a vision board, or?
Yeah, like I kind of focused on like also what I could become, because I feel like in this generation, obviously there's just so much going on.
Yeah, it's
so
go
much going on, and there's so many people out there that are in these amazing positions. I always have massive like
inspiration.
I take inspiration from other people's journeys, but I think it's very important to always bring it back that like you are you, and like
stop comparing yourself to other people.
But you know what, it's a complete waste of energy, because it's like, what can I become? Like the best version of you is going to look completely different to the best version of me.
Exactly.
Do you get me?
Yeah, that is a lot. Like a lot of people compare themselves, like, oh, she has this type of body, why can't I have that?
Mad.
Or like the same thing with in like businesses, where like someone is like on their first year of their career and then someone else is like 8 years.
Yeah.
I always say that with beauty as well. Like in my courses, I'm like, girls, don't be comparing yourself to someone who's in the beauty industry like 8 years, because you're just going to put yourself down so much over.
Yeah, 100%.
It is a big thing.
I feel like as well, like in this generation, there's so much comparison that, like, remember you used to be able to be like, right, well, I'll unfollow all them people and I won't look at that and stuff. But like in this now, I feel like it's actually just, it's everywhere, that the only kind of way we can kind of counterbalance it is self-awareness, like raising your level of self-awareness and understanding that the only person you will ever be, like my genetics are so different to the next person.
Exactly. Yeah.
So even if I was to go on this mad 2-year journey and the next person was, if we ate the same, if we, trained the same, we're still not going to look the same.
Yeah.
So just I kind of came to that conclusion. I was like, right, I'm not genetically gifted. Like I do always say to my mom, I'm like, our genetics, like, oh my God. But that's my whole point, is I'm striving to be the best version of my genetics. And I want all of the Embody girls and like everyone just to be the best version of themselves. And if we can all kind of rise to that level, then there's the level of comparison like kind of goes down, because we're all like, oh,
yeah,
we're all happy, like,
So bringing it back then to your kind of fitness journey, like, so what did you do? Did you go to the gym or did you start with an online coach? Or?
I completed the first 2 years by myself.
So you went to the gym on your own kind of the first 2 years?
Yeah.
Just doing your own thing. And
And
it is so daunting, isn't it? You're kind of like, oh my God, this person's looking at me, I'm doing this wrong. Or like when you start off, isn't it?
Yeah, and you think like
no one's even looking at you.
No one even cares. Like, it's because Joe, it is you're so focused on you and all your insecurities, and you're like, your insecurities are bigger than you at that time. And like all you're doing is like focusing on yourself, like focusing on, oh my God, like I'm not perfect, or I'm doing this wrong. But you have to just embrace, the moment you embrace that moment is the moment you kind of free yourself to actually learn and grow and evolve. Like, and you can't actually get there until you really accept that moment. Like,
Yeah.
that's the hardest part.
So what did you do then? So you done the gym for 2 years by yourself, and then what did you do afterwards?
And then I done a PT course. And then I wanted to, again, I done the first like 2 years by myself, and I lost roughly like around like 22 kg. And then I wanted to really like push myself for that last little kind of, it's like I knew I had, again, a further potential, and I wanted to put my message out there that I was going to work to be the best. Like, at the time, there was loads of photo shoots being done, and I was like, I really want to do it, but I want to put my own message out there and my own twist on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know I'm not going to be 6-pack lean. Then I was like, oh my God, the neck of me doing a photo shoot, and I'm not going to be like 6-pack lean. Then I was like, no, but if I can put myself through that chapter of consistency, and if I can show up,
Just pushing yourself. I feel like setting a goal by this date, I want to look like this or whatever. Setting a goal and like
challenging yourself, giving yourself purpose, like, you know. And
sometimes you do need that holiday or that photo shoot to kind of just give you that bit more of a push. Obviously, you should be going to the gym all the time, and anyways, like for your own mental health and stuff. But sometimes you need that bit to give yourself that extra push, don't you?
Yeah, I think if you have, it's very important to have a reason why. Like, it's very important. Like, I had a distinct reason why. Like, my photo shoot was finishing off like 2 years of like completely transforming my mindset, body, my life, basically. And that photo shoot was like to mark off, right, well, I accept myself right now. Like, I am the best version I've ever been, and I accept that for myself. Do you get me? I'm like, yeah, I accept that. Went through a bit of like it was a bit mad to accept myself after the photo shoot, as in like, I was like, oh my God, Emma, you're actually not that person you used to be. That was the hard part. But even like Chloe, like the head coach at Embody, like her photo shoot is actually tomorrow. We're going to Belfast today, but her whole messaging, again, like, I'm so grateful. Like, she started off as a client for me, and again, she had like that real female, you know, that female body, like it's either with a routine or without a routine. It kind of goes one way or the other. Like, a lot like me, like my starting point, her journey is very similar to mine. She's just down 20 kg, and her messaging again is she's showing up tomorrow as the best version we have ever seen. Like, oh my God, it's going to be an emotional day.
So she lost 20 kg?
Just touching on 20 kg.
How long does that take?
Just 8-9 months. 8-9 months. Mad, like.
Yeah, that's crazy. So that was some discipline and commitment, like.
Yeah, routine, and she just outdone herself. Like, she has this beautiful work ethic, and like, she always had this inner potential, but like, she just didn't know how to channel it. She kept kind of self-sabotaging herself because she had so much potential, she had so much ambition, and she just didn't know where to be feeling it. So she'd end up like getting takeaways, or like, you know, not going to the gym because she was getting frustrated with herself. And I was like, I have to work with this girl. I was like, I have to show her. So like, put her in a beautiful routine, and just like really taught her like to show up for herself in this routine.
And it's so easily done. Like, I'd kind of get into, like, I wrote that, like, I've put workforce before, like, kind of prioritising myself, which is not a good thing. Like, I'm kind of doing that now, kind of glow up era.
Got you.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that is very important, because if you're not looking after yourself, everything else just kind of goes into, like you go into a road, like.
100%. Yeah. And I think, see, even for yourself as well, like, this is what I was saying to you before the podcast, it's like, people think it's like, you know, I know your job is so busy, but you can make your routine honour you. You know what I mean? Like, people, I think, look at like these substantial transformations, like even like my own or Chloe's or whatever, and they're like, I could never do that because I can't commit to eating chicken, broccoli and rice, and I can't commit to going to the gym 7 times a week. And but it's like, you can adapt your routine to you. Like, you can fit in things to your routine. That's what a routine is. It's honouring your busy lives, like your situation, and striving. You're a busy business person. You have 101 things going on, and it's
just
like
putting yourself first instead of everything else. Like, wait.
Yeah, like fitting your routine into your lifestyle, and not like your lifestyle, letting your lifestyle take over your mental well-being, mental and physical well-being, like, you know.
And it does improve everything, like just going to the gym in the morning or in the evening. Like, I feel like that helps a lot with like I'd be one to, like, if I go to the gym in the evening, like, it kind of relaxes me, and I don't like tend to like get stressed out and binge eat or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like I think that does help a lot. So what did you do then after your photo shoot then? Was that at that time, were you already like qualified personal trainer or
I was
stuff?
qualified. After my photo shoot, that's actually when I took the kind of plunge to go by myself online, because things were just getting quite busy.
Why were you working somewhere? Were you working in a gym? Was it?
Yeah, I was in FlyFit.
All right,
I was a
nice.
duty manager in FlyFit, yeah.
And what did you do then at that point? You wanted to go out on your own, was it?
Yeah, it was like I was kind of like, right, online was getting really busy, and I knew like I had this like,
This was your next step.
yeah, it was like I was so much more passionate about like the clients I had and the coaching I was doing and Embody than I was about like working in the gym. And that was a really hard decision, because I actually loved the community and I loved like the people I worked with and like the classes and all that, but it was like a risk I had to take. Yeah, I was actually in a master's as well at the time.
Were you? What
And
were
I
you
dropped
studying?
out marketing. I was in a master's in marketing, and I left FlyFit and I dropped out of a master's as well to pursue Embody. Like I literally took so much risks that last couple of months of the year. Like.
Yeah, but when you kind of, when you know what you like and it's already working out for you, it was just your next step.
Yeah.
You probably would have spent how many years in doing your masters and still working in your job and still wondering, oh, what if I,
Yeah, it was that like little point where I was like, do I follow my heart here and like build Embody, or do I stick to what? Do I do the traditional and stick and get the, like I already had my degree, but I wanted to push and get the masters, but it was like just something I just had to take a risk. Like,
do you feel like doing that masters or doing marketing, like what did you think that helps you in what you do now, like in any way? Like
probably like just in the way of maybe like put myself out there maybe a bit more, it kind of helped that way.
Because that's with social media and stuff, marketing. Yeah. So it did kind of help you with that.
Yeah, like just some of the tactics of it. But yeah, I actually never told you that.
Wow.
That I was in that masters.
Oh,
I just completely never told you that.
Yeah, you probably forgot about yourself. It's just like
when you were
a distant memory.
Yeah, when you were like, what did you do at that time? I was like, oh yeah, I was in college as well.
Yeah. So you done your photo shoot, and so you went out working for yourself. Say that was hard. And how many clients did you have at the time?
When I like started working for myself, it was probably around maybe like 35, around that mark.
Yeah, and I'd say it was probably like, oh my god, what if I lose them and then I have no job? Say it was all them thoughts kind of rushing to your head, like.
Yeah, I was just like, I was like, Emma, what are you doing? I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like, because at that moment,
that pushed you probably as well. Yeah, it was like, I need to make sure I get more.
It made me be like, no, you have to actually build the most amazing thing here now. Like, you've no choice. I think a good thing, especially with a business, is like give yourself no choice. Like take risks, like take calculated risks, but take risks. You know, and again, sometimes you need that little push behind you. Like, the way if you have it. Like if someone has a job and then they have like a business on the side, sometimes you kind of might need that. That fear of like taking the job away from you to just push you to reach your potential within that business, to be the best person you can be, the best coach you can be. Like,
yeah, I feel like when people have like another job there, they're not as motivated because they have that as a backup.
100%.
Where you kind of put your full energy and your full time into that, you'll make sure it works.
Yeah, like your full passion focus like into it.
Yeah, and did you have anyone in your family to push you with that, or what was all your family saying to you? Like, is there anyone in your family that are working for themselves or anything like that?
My mum works for herself.
What's she do?
Yeah, no, my mum's really supportive. Like she has a Montessori, like a crash.
Oh, right,
yeah. So it's a different industry, but she has like a really, like, I've always looked up to her work ethic. She's always like just been really driven and like.
Yeah, I feel like when you see someone else doing it, it is kind of that bit like it is possible, like what you're trying to do with the event.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, where if you're like surrounded by everyone kind of that is kind of working their day job, and then you're not seeing anyone around you kind of going for it, like, so.
Yeah, I think the event, like, not that I'm like not nervous about it, but I think it's like definitely like it's like definitely pushing me out of my comfort zone, because like I feel like in the fitness industry as well, like I obviously started at a very, very weak kind of moment, and I'm very open about that.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes people are like to me, like, you know, why are you putting yourself out there like that, or why you showcase yourself like that? I'm like, because I associate weakness with strength, because in that weaker moment, that's how I kind of found myself as I am now, and I would not be at this level.
A lot of people think they start when like, oh, I'll like say I'll go to the women's gym until I get a little bit leaner, or
Yeah.
I'll go and try to do a few workouts at home until I go to the gym, and it's all that like kind of shine away from the gym until you think you're going to get to a certain point, but you won't get there
Until you face it, until you lean into it, like.
Yeah
100%. Like, see, where people say they're going to like go to the ladies' gym until they build a confidence, I completely understand that. And I actually have like a couple of clients that are currently doing that, and like I'll always completely respect that. But shout out to Irina Roach. Like, sometimes it does take for me to say, right, well, there's like any kind of change you're going through, any change you're going through, both positive and negative, it's going to be faced with like this resistance. You being like, don't do it, right? So with her in particular, I literally made her go down to the men's gym. I was like, go down there. And it's kind of like showing yourself it's okay, like proving to yourself, you're down there, you're like looking around, you're like, right, this is okay. And you start to do your exercise and you're like, right, this is okay. It's like you show yourself you're safe. You show yourself it's no one's looking at you.
Even just going up there and getting on the treadmill.
Yeah, and looking at your surroundings, you know, it's a big survival thing, like for us, especially as females as well. It's a big intimidation thing.
Yeah.
It's just like showing yourself, and it's very empowering when you're a female and you can go down, you can train in the weight section where all the men are. It's really empowering. It's like, oh, I'm able to like build myself up like just as much as anyone else. I've the right to be here.
Yeah,
you know?
and after a while you get a bit confident. You're like, I do know what I'm doing.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you see it happen all the time, and it's amazing. Like, not feeling like it.
And so when you went out your own, you had 35 clients, did you say? And how long was that?
That was around maybe like December last year.
Oh, was it? Yeah, so it's only kind of fresh, or kind of gone out on your own, is it?
Embody's only 1 year old now. Yeah.
No way.
It's mad. Like,
And
it's been a mad year.
Yeah. And how many clients would you have now compared to then?
Like, there's around 80 of the girls now.
Yeah, that's unreal in such a short space of time.
Yeah, it's happening fast.
Yeah. And where do you think all that kind of came from? Like word of mouth or social media, or?
I think it's because I'm very like, I don't mind showing myself in a vulnerable light, because with Embody, it's like I feel like there's not really a community out there that like shows weaknesses into strengths, if you get me. Like, I feel like, you know, a lot of people show themselves at this level, and that's amazing. I've shown myself at like my photo shoots, like looking and feeling amazing, but I've also shown myself at my very weakest of moments when I did not look amazing and I did not feel amazing.
Yeah, it's like showing someone that I've done it.
Show them what's possible, like, you know. And I feel like with Embody, the way I want it to be is like, I want anyone to be able to start their fitness journey irregardless of like their starting position, whether that's like mental health, like physical health, like whether they feel like they're a million trillion miles away from where they want to be, that they feel comfortable and safe in this environment, and they trust us to like take them in and help them, you know, find their strength. Because if I can do it, if Chloe can do it, anybody can do it. Like, we are no different to anybody. So just again, trying to get that message out there that like, it's very hard to show yourself a very strong light and a weak light at the same time.
Yeah.
But we're getting there.
And regards the event, so what will be the layout? Like, how many speakers have you got?
Oh my God, there's a lot of views.
Yeah, they have to get loads, aren't you?
There's a lot. You know what it is? I was trying to kind of get people who I really think have a profound story behind them. Like that day, I just wanted to be extremely inspiring. Like, I want the people that, all the Embody girls who come, all the guests who have bought a ticket, to leave that room like just really believing in themselves, because I want everyone that's there to just share their story, share how they got through their weakest of moments and they are the person they are today, and just again spreading that message that like confidence can't grow unless you start without it. So anyone who's sitting there that's kind of like how am I going to do this? How am I going to cultivate this? That they're like, right, just one foot in front of the other, have that vision, have that long term, set the routine up, believe in yourself.
Yeah. And you've done loads of events like that before, or is this is your first one, like our speaking event, the first one?
So I've done Embody events. We've done 3 events this year, but that was just for our clients. But then like every time we were doing the events, we were getting texts, or like the girls were getting texts being like, can I come with you? Like some of my clients were getting texts being like, can I come with you? Or like we'd be getting texts on Instagram to the Embody page or my page being like, can we come? And I'd be like, I never thought anyone was interested. Like, so I was like, these are just client events, because I like to host events. Embody's like very event focused, because I like to bring the community together like every like quarter and stuff like that, just again for inspiration and to create some experiences for the girls, just to give back as well, because we really appreciate them and we want them to have something to look forward to as well. And then I was like, do you know what? I was like,
and you're building. That's what I was gonna say. You're building the community as well. Like within like they're after making friends. They're not. It's not because obviously online coaching or. It's all online, so now they're getting to meet each other. And like I've done online coaching before, and I get added into group chats, and I'm like, I don't really want to speak in it because I don't really know any of them. And where like they're all probably they're after meeting each other like so many times now that they're all friends, and it is a community. Like
they're literally amazing. Like, and you know what it was? It was like, I remember before my first event, I was having all these individual conversations with my clients, obviously, right? And I was like, just realizing how like amazing they all were. I was like, you know, they're all pretty much going through the same journey. It's all very different, but I was like, oh my God, I was like, if I bring all these girls together, this is going to be really powerful. It's like they can all help each other in so many different ways. And I did that.
Just even with food as well, they'd be like, oh, what do you have? Like,
protein. Like the girls would be like, what's the lowest calorie option for my period? Or like, you know, what's the best protein out here? Or like, sometimes like as well, to be real, sometimes the girls would be like in the chat and be like, I just couldn't be arsed to go to the gym today. I'm after having a really shy day. And they'll all just hype each other up, be like, you can do this. You know,
you'll feel 10 times better when you go after you go. You'll never regret going to the gym.
Never.
And no matter how busy you are or how bad you feel, like you'll always walk out and you'll never turn around and be like, oh, I shouldn't have went.
And it's always the ones that you don't want to do that feel amazing. And even as well, you know, like the way like you're like, oh, well, I won't I go? And then you don't go and you're like, that guilt. It's just like, you could have just went.
Yeah.
Could have just went. You might as well just go.
Sitting around procrastinating for the whole day. Like, will I? Will I not? Will I go now?
You'll never know.
Yeah.
That's why you need to have a coach.
Yeah, it is. It's that accountability as well. I found that a lot. I've done online coaching for a couple of years, and I found that it's like that accountability, knowing your check-in is coming up.
Yeah. Even just someone to be like, oh, like, you know, any advice on here, or like, you know, could I do that? Could I do that better? Like, you know.
And you learn a lot from it. Like, I feel like I've learned a lot. Yeah. I kind of know what to be eating now without, like, do you know what I mean? Obviously,
that's what
it's just sticking to it. That's what's hard some days. Yeah, but definitely. And you've done in your previous events. What happened? Did you done yoga, didn't you?
Yeah,
you had Alex Spotter on. Yeah, I know Alex.
She's unreal.
Yeah, she's so nice.
We actually started a collab with her as well recently, where just once a month she's collabs with us on a live Zoom, and we bring the girls through like a yoga. Oh, right. Yeah, it's just
is this like on a Facebook group, or is this kind of like on an Instagram page? Like, what way do you do your life?
You're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
No, we have a Facebook group, and then we have a WhatsApp community as well. So
right, so then I'll jump on a Zoom and you'll do it.
We'll jump on a Zoom, and then we'll record it and then just put it into the Facebook group, so anyone like is missing and stuff, we'll pop it in there.
Good,
It's just again just to add a little like little description for the girls, like, because we're just like, they're all go all the time, like routine. And we're like, how can we just slow them down for a second, just to connect them back to themselves a bit and appreciate themselves and the body that they're in like a different way than strength, like in like a more of a loving way. And then they can go and smash their sessions as well, because I'm all about that.
And do you do like any like meditation ones or anything like that? No, just
Alex
yoga.
Would, like,
Alex does meditation as well.
We actually only started them like literally like last month. But yeah, we're gonna finish them off just with like 5 minutes, 10 minutes of like meditation, just to bring them all back to Zen. Because like I just think this generation in particular, like no one's present. Everyone's just, especially you, no one's present. It's just like go all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
I find it hard shutting off at night time.
I'd say so.
To God. I'm so bad, like literally, like if I started going on a walk right before bed, because then I'm zonked.
Definitely.
And then if I even touch off my phone, I start thinking, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. can wait till the morning. Like, no, like, but I'm like, no, I should just do that now. That's what goes on in my head, like, all the time. But yeah, so you've mentioned before you've worked with, like, I think you're working with them at the minute, like mentors and different coaches to kind of like help you and motivate you.
100%. So I have 2 mentors right now.
And what?
So one is a business mentor, that's Mark, and then the second one is a total mental performance mentor, and that's Dan. So the reason why I work with Dan is because I've basically been through a very big journey myself, like, and it's all happened very fast. Like, you know, the last 3 years I've like gone from being in one position, like mentally and physically, very weak, very insecure, very introverted, shy, bigger, 30 kg bigger, and then it was like lost my weight, like transformed myself, went through my own transformation, and then like Embody grew. So it's just a very big shift, and it took me a long time to catch up with myself. Like my physical transformation, cool, that was one thing. And everyone was like to me, oh, you look great and all. And I was like, oh, thanks so much. But my mental realizing where I was mentally, that took a long time.
Yeah, you were still kind of in
I'm
your head.
still back in that mindset.
Yeah, not having
It was a
confidence.
very difficult time.
And,
and even though it was really confusing then, because I was like, people are coming up to me in the gym being like, Jesus, you look great.
And
like,
you're probably still doubting yourself, like, and being like, no, I don't. And,
yeah, I kept seeing myself back at like that point, and I was like, why are they coming up to me saying that? I was, oh, do you know?
Yeah.
So I and then even like with Embody growing, like with the events and, you know, taking on the girls as well, I was like, I really have to push myself out of my comfort zone, because I was like, I can either stop where I'm at now and be like, right, okay, I'm not going to grow Embody anymore, and I can't get past this like point. Or I was like, I can reach out to someone to really help me to like break this little barrier that I was facing of like just catching up with myself mentally, so I could, you know, be the person I need to be for Embody right now and for Chloe right now while she's going through her journey, and like for all the girls who are going through these big journeys, that I'm able to support them now, the aftermath, and like from a mental transformation standpoint as well, which I've only had like 4 sessions with Dan and I feel like a different person.
Oh really? Yeah. And how long are you working with him?
I've only had 4 sessions with him, so like
do you pay per session, is it? Or
no, it's like you do it per every like 6 months, every 6 weeks you pay for it, and it's like a program they have you on.
And what way would that like? So what in what ways do you find that he helped you, and like what is the program around? Like what is it based around? Like,
so it's a total mental performance program. So it's basically like helps entrepreneurs like get to the next level mentally, like maybe push past whatever kind of things. Like everyone's different. They actually only had an event in Manchester, and
that's done.
It was amazing. Oh my God! Like just being around people who are like just trying to better themselves for their businesses. Like, because with like a lot of coaching businesses, people want to make an impact. Like I want to make a change with Embody. I'm like, but that's not going to happen unless I can push myself mentally to like step into the person I need to be to actually create this change that I want to make, and that's hard. So that's what Dan is helping me basically like realize where I'm at now, realize how much progress I've made, so I can like keep on building Embody and keep on being that support system for the girls and for myself. And I'm excited to grow it. I'm actually really excited for the next few months.
And is that mostly for people in the fitness industry, or did you at the event, like was there people like outside of that as well? Like
yeah, no, it's fitness industry, so it's coaching.
Yeah. There's nothing like that around for like the beauty industry or around like that. I think I was saying that to you before.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and people need this because like again, like this generation in particular, there's so much struggle out there. Like, oh my God, there's so much struggle out there.
Yeah, definitely. And what's the other coach or mentor did you say that you were working with?
So the mentor I'm working with is Mark Halls. Shout out to him. But I reached out to Mark because basically it's like I really didn't want to just do traditionally like what online coaching is. Like I have like a proper, I'm on a mission with Embody. Like I know that sounds mad, but like I feel like it's like my responsibility to help other people walk this journey like I did. And in order for me to do that, it was like I couldn't just do, like I wanted to have the correct systems in place and the correct, I obviously as well needed to hire people to help me.
What do you mean by correct systems in place? Like what?
So like the way I
Like
deliver the
tax-wise,
coaching,
or like are you going into like?
no, like the way like delivering the actual coaching service,
Right,
like
okay,
so like making sure like that if someone walks into the program that I can provide the service they need to have the transformation and to go through that journey
Right,
and come out
okay,
the other
yeah.
side of the program and have experienced the journey. So it's just like systems and like staff, obviously staff now as well. Like kind of realized very earlier on like that I was like, oh, I can't do this by myself. Like as in like
Yeah.
I wanted to do it all by myself. I tried to for a very long time, but with the growth that it was undergoing, and for loads of people who were like, oh, I want to like try this and stuff, I was like, I need someone. But with Embody, it was like I actually kind of like suffered for a long time because I didn't want to just hire anybody. Like I didn't want just anyone. I needed someone who aligned with like the values of Embody and who had gone through a transformation themselves and like who understood the clients and understood
Yeah.
has that relatability to the
And
girls.
that's Chloe. Then.
Yeah. She's literally amazing. Like.
Yeah, unreal. And then with the mentorships, then like, did you? So you obviously find it helpful, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to have someone like, because sometimes like like I'm so passionate for what I'm doing with Embody, like, but the ambition can kind of eat me alive sometimes. Like I'm like, I want to build this thing and I want to have it amazing. I want to have it perfect, and it's just like having someone there to be like, it's okay, we're doing it. You are doing it. Like it's happening now.
Yeah, like look back on what you've achieved.
Yeah, which
it is. It's
we're
hard.
the worst.
We were literally only talking about
I'm still
that.
back in like 2019.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
No, definitely worth it. Like it's 100% worth it. Like people will go out on the weekend and spend crazy. Like you know what's crazy? Like people like me, even maybe like family members or friends, would be like, how did you spend that much money on like a business mentor? Or how did you spend that much money on like a? People don't even know what a total
I
mental
got that as
performance
well.
mentor
Yeah.
is, and it's like, right, well, like that. It each to their own, but I don't really go out that much. I wouldn't really drink at all, and like I wouldn't really like buy myself, not materialistic or anything. And I'm like, I wanted to put my money towards my own education, and like I wanted to learn. I
Investing in
wanted
your
to
business.
grow myself. Like, you know, it's like I think it's just where your priorities and your values lie as a person. But yeah, people just don't see the, people don't see the
They're
value in it.
Yeah, they'll like I'm in 2 gyms. I'm in Westwood and Flyfa because I'm like, if I don't mind paying the extra. Like I was in Westwood and it's an extra like €35, and I'm like, there's one around the corner, and where I am, I've no excuse. So I'm like, I don't like, and then people are like, oh my god, like how much extra is that? And I'm like, people are looking at as in like, oh, I'll spend money on, I'll spend €60 on a Chinese, or I'll go out on a night out or whatever it is, but then they can't justify it paying an extra €30 for the gym.
Yeah.
Or like it's saying Westwood is mad like expensive and on because it's like €90 or whatever.
Yeah.
But like if you go and you use it,
100%.
Yeah.
It's the value of it. You know,
Yeah.
obviously you see the value. It's not even the gym. It's the value you see of the session that you're going to have that day. It's going to
Yeah.
affect your day.
and your mental health and improve your well-being.
Yeah,
and your,
whereas
like,
people don't see the value.
yeah, or even with the what you said, the mentors and the coaching as well. Like I done something similar to what you done, and when I was looking into it about a year before, and everyone just kind of turned me off it. I actually didn't even tell them. I should have done it sooner. But when I was talking about it, everyone was just like, "Are you mad? Give me that
Mad
money!
like, yeah.
Give me that money if you're gonna just throw it in the bin. Like that's all I got off them. Like they're like, I can
my
wake you up
God.
in the mornings and I can do meditation with you and I can do this. That's all I got off people. Like it kind of turned me off telling anyone, because it took me a year to kind of just been like, you know, I kept looking at it. And I was like, I want to do this. Like, I definitely want to do this. And then I was like, cause the people listening to people's opinions, it kind of turned me off it. So about a year later, then I was like, no, I'm still looking at it. I'm going to keep looking at it. So I might as well just do it. And then when I done it, I actually kind of shied away from saying it. But when I said it, I'm like, what? Like me ma or me stepdad and all. But then I feel like that did help. It kind of did change me, like, me mental health as well, and they kind of turned me life around slightly, or kind of improved it.
Do you mean your mentorship program?
Yeah, like I done one like the Bob Proctor thinking into results.
Oh, you were telling me that.
Yeah, I felt like that kind of helped me, like my mindset and all, and change the way I think about certain things.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's huge. Like,
Yeah.
I think if you want to do something,
To just do it and then tell
Just do
people.
it. Like, this is a big thing I
Yeah.
even say to the girls. I'm like, stop asking for permission to grow. For the one thing, especially in Ireland, it's like you're asking people for permission, like your family, your friends, your peers. No one's going to turn around to you and say, Demi, go and do that course because you're going to grow loads. No one's going to say that. So like, kind of, sometimes I'm like, for a while I feel like I was asking myself or other people permission to keep growing past my transformation, because I was like, it was kind of like the neck of me wanting to grow any more than this. I'm like, if you have potential to reach, go reach it. Stop asking for people for permission. Like, no one's going to say, come on, go do it.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like when they don't they're not interested in something like that, when someone hears something like, it's just mad to them. Why would you put so much money into this?
Yeah.
Like, when it's kind of like, I looked at it as in like, I'm investing my money. I'm not just throwing it in the bin.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna improve so much with my life.
100%.
Yeah.
You've seen the value and they didn't, like.
Yeah. So what? How many speakers have you got at the event? The EXO event.
I'm actually gassed. I have so many. Like, you know, it's mad. There's so many. Maybe I just have to think. I just find everyone so interesting. So like, but like, there's just so many inspiring people within Embody. So I have like,
is all your, like, I've seen a couple of clients are your
a couple of clients who have underwent like some crazy journeys, like mental journeys that again they didn't even think was possible for them. So I think just having them spread that powerful message, or even just say out loud, like, if it's possible for me, it's possible for you. Joanna Sargent, she's absolutely insane. Like, oh my god. And who else do I have? I have the coaches, Chloe, Amy, Circa. I've people within Embody chatting, and then I have external guest speakers. So Emma Byrne, the positivity plug, that's she has been through an amazing transformation, both mentally and physically. And I have her coming up just to share.
I think I was actually looking at her page when you
She's incredible.
It.
Wow.
Yeah. I seen her transformation. I was like, oh my god, no way.
Mentally and physically insane. Like, I think it all stems from the mindset. Like, it all stems from the mindset, and like,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, believing in yourself, and
just again, like, I think like being greater than the situation you're in right now is huge.
Yeah, I was going to ask you this earlier on. We were talking about being in the gym, thinking people are looking at you and all and stuff like that. Did you see that video that was going around? That was trending, of girls recording themselves in the gym, and there was like a fella looking at them and stuff like that. What do you think of that? Do you know what one I'm on about?
No.
Do you want that where, like, to see, it was like this one went viral. It's like a girl doing hip thrusts or something. There was a fella, he was probably just taking a break, like, from a set. Like, do you know when you're like in between sets and you're kind of just like looking around, and she was like recording him, and she was like, oh, look at him staring at me and all, he's always looking at me and all this, and it went viral.
Oh god.
And like every fella and all, like when they see a camera out, they're like looking away now because this is trending. Did you not see it?
No. I didn't.
This was ages ago. I was going to say, I was going to ask you what do you think of that? I can't believe you haven't seen it.
No, I did be living on a different planet. Like, I swear to God, I literally post things for like Embody now. I'm off Instagram. Like, I can't do it all social media.
Yeah. I used to bring my tripod around Westwood, and then someone, like one of the workers, actually turned around and told me to get rid of it, and I like not record. Yeah, and I think, I don't know, because there was a few fellas behind me, and I think one of them went and complained, and I'm like, is it because of that? Because it was literally all over social media, and everyone was like paro, like all the fellas are paro, because they were thinking like some guy will get her in the video, because there was a few girls that started doing it then.
Wow.
They'll spot a fella in the back of the gym, and yeah, it was mad. And
how would you even think to do something like that?
Yeah, I think it was all just for a few likes. Like, because I was looking at a few of the videos, and I was just like, he's just taking a break from a set. He's not even looking at her. He probably just, like, his eyes are wandering and they're not even looking at them.
Do you ever see, like, this is a thing that I always go back to with gym anxiety as well, right? If you go into the gym and you're not like focused on what you're doing and you're looking around, you probably are going to catch people looking at you, but it's because you're kind of looking for it.
Yeah, if you catch eye contact with somebody, then they're probably like, why is she looking at me?
Whereas if you just go in there, just focus on yourself, go in there, have your program like on your app or whatever, and go do it, and you're there for that 45 hour minutes, whatever, get it done and leave.
Or half the time you're looking at them and they're like, and you're probably like, oh, they're like, I'd be looking at girls and I'm like, I like them leggings. Like whatever runner she's wearing. Like,
she's a lovely bum.
Yeah. Like, I want that. That's the only time you're probably ever looking at someone.
Yeah, I think so. Like I did loads of times, like I'd like admire people who like with beautiful physiques and I'm like, oh my god, they're just stunning. I'm like, I hope they don't think I'm a creep looking at them, like, or I'd even go up to them and be like,
or like you're looking at them
amazing.
like, oh, they're like, I think I was looking at you were doing hip thrust one of the days and you were what kg are you doing now? I think I looked over and I was like, oh, good luck. Yeah,
220.
Yeah, I think what was my heaviest, like 110. Like what? And I think I just seen you putting on the big blue heavy 25 kg, like packing them on. I was like,
she all right in the head?
I was like, I actually counted how many reps you done. I was like, fair play to her.
How many reps did I do?
I think you done 10 because I was literally in the machine in front of you and I was like, oh my god. I was like, she's still piling them on.
Oh God, is she done? Is she done?
Yeah, no, but I wasn't like, I was like, did she see me looking at her? Because that's before I even spoke to you. Because I was gassed.
A few people have came up to me in Westwood being like, you okay? Like,
yeah, and I was like, there's no way. I was like, she's not. She like, and then I think you done 10, like, and I was like, wow, fair play to her. I was like, yeah, gas. I was like, she's probably up to seeing me looking at her now.
Oh no, gas. I live in a different realm when I'm doing my hip thrust.
Yeah, in the heap. You're not even focusing on. I was looking at it.
Yeah.
My heaviest was probably like 110, and I was delighted with that.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
Not whatever you were doing. Yeah. So what goals do you have for the end of the year, or next year?
Do you mean like for me?
So personally and business wise.
So this is actually quite a personal one because like after my fitness journey not came to an end, but after I did my photo shoot and Embody started to grow, I kind of had to put myself on the back burner for a long. Like I kept up with my training, I kept myself the same. I'm always like progressing, but like just kind of like not really being quite vocal about it, like because I'm so busy all the time, and I feel like I've poured. Like building a business is hard, like so I've poured a lot of energy into my clients. I think my whole messaging is always like I experienced my success story, so I really wanted to just kind of put that year in, that focus into other people, like rising other people up, and looking back now at everything that came as a result of it, I'm happy with that decision. I'm happy I done that. But now it's like I want to I actually have a new coach now. And I have a big goal set. I don't know if I told you this, but I have a goal set for the end of the year before my birthday. So I've been quite like MIA about it. It's like a certain physique goal I want to reach before, just to kind of prove myself in this busy chapter that I could keep like working on myself. And it's basically just applying another like chapter of consistency to where I was at, where I had got myself to. Applying another chapter. So I've been like on the grind behind the scenes, and I have that goal coming up. So that's my personal goal. You'll all see it soon. If I don't bottle it. No, I'm joking.
No, I won't. There's your accountability.
There's my accountability. No, keep one nowadays. I have to do it now. And that was something extremely out of my comfort zone. It's basically that it would be like kind of why I'm working with Dan, is like just a goal to really step into the person I am now and stop kind of asking myself for permission to go further with myself and further with my life and further with Embody. Like it's like thinking in Irish culture, it's like when you're, progressing to a certain point, it's there's nearly a negative stigma around it, I feel.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to just like put that on the back burner and be like, I know I have more potential to reach as a person. I know Embody has so much more potential. I know my physique does, my mindset does. So it's just like I've stopped asking for permission now. I'm just going for it. I'm just going for it. I'm just going to do it because, again, I want to inspire my clients on what is actually possible. Because, again, I did start back there 30 kg, heavier, no muscle to my name, very anxious and depressed. So I really just want to see what I'm capable of, and hopefully, like, just, again, be very open and honest about this journey. Yeah. Like, as in me being open about working with Dan. It's like being like, there's battles that come with this when you're not always from this position. As you grow, you have to reflect. Then you have to grow again, then you have to reflect and grow again, reflect. Yeah. But we have some massive goals with Embody for the next couple. We have something massive happening at the start of next year, kind of all tailoring into what we were just speaking about like.
Can you speak about it? No.
I'll be.
You don't want to say about it yet.
I'll be speaking about at the event. It's just a kind of a.
So keep it for that then. Yeah.
Keep it for that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, loads of goals. I feel like you know, I think a lot of people can find themselves in ruts and stuff and they don't have goals set. But like, I think setting goals is massive. It doesn't have to be crazy physical ones, but just like little directions of like where to structure your routine and to hit that milestone. Then just reflect on it and go again. But like, give yourself purpose in your life. You know, like, that's what life's about.
Will you have like little notepads and stuff for everyone to kind of write what they're thinking and all that?
I'm doing like a mad exercise at the event.
Yeah.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
I'm doing like a kind of I have like Embody like little booklets, be amazing.
Yeah.
They're gonna be very visualization stuff.
Yeah. Excited for the event now. So where, if anyone's looking out to reach out, where can they find you?
They can find us on Instagram, Embody Coaching, or even just Emma, my normal page, and just reach out. We'll hopefully be able to. We've had a waiting list for a long time.
Oh, so you're not even taking any new clients on now at the minute?
We'll be taking on clients after the event.
Yeah.
After the event.
This event's been crazy, has it?
This event has taken up a lot of focus, but I want it to be like really special and really magical. Like,
yeah. And every time you'll do this once now, and then for the next one you'll have the stuff already planned out. You know what you're doing, so it'll get easier for your next one now.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like what nothing else interests. I want just people to be like, I can just do this. Like, it's people think it's so far fetched for them, but it really isn't.
Yeah.
You know, like, so if I have to host 1,000,001 events, I will.
Thanks so much for coming on, Emma.
Thanks so much for having me. You too. And thank you for coming to my event.
Thanks so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed. If you're looking to reach out, you can find us at Unlock Potential Podcast on Instagram, or at demisnailsandbeauty.ie, or on Instagram at demisnailsandbeauty. See you next time.